Welcome to Sonic Rites TV, straight out of stage. Athena from Midnight, how are you?
I feel red hot and ready. I think that's a Pretty Maids reference there. So that's how I feel right now. I'm red hot and ready. Just got done with the gig here at the lovely Finnish crowd. And fuck, man, it's great. Thank you for wanting to have a chit chat.
Yeah, you're literally just fresh out of stage. I can feel steam coming off you. It's you ran straight to the backstage to have a chat with us. How did you feel on stage? Did you enjoy yourself?
No, you don't enjoy yourself. That's not an enjoyable thing when you're banging your head against like hard objects and screaming at the top of your lungs. It's not an enjoyable thing, but it's a necessary thing that I need to do. Otherwise, you'd read about me in the funny papers. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something that's a release. That's the only release I have. So got to do that. But it's not fun. I don't recommend it to young children.
You've had a couple of hiccups now. There were some issues with your bags, and then you found some stuff to wear on stage, and then there were some technical difficulties on stage. But all in all, you gave a great show, and all the energy was like straight to the audience.
Well, that's the thing, there's always gonna be shit. Shit's gonna be in your way, you know. Whether, like you said, maybe the folks don't know, but this is our first show of the Euro tour, and our luggage didn't arrive, so I had to do some shopping at the stores and find these fancy clothes, but you just have to get through it, you know. And if you have to read the room, you can't get bummed out about that, because if you get bummed out, the crowd's gonna get bummed out, and you don't want them bummed out. You know, like I just said, I'm not having a good time up there, so why do they not have a good time? You know, that's a very selfish thing. So I think they should enjoy themselves while we have the terrible time.
Are you nervous that somebody is wearing your clothes right now? Somebody who stole them from the airport?
They are. I know that's what they do. They know I have great fashion sense. They know all. So there's. It's a list back there in the back rooms of all these airports, because this isn't the first time it's happened. And they steal chains, they steal bullet belts, they steal.
Your porn? You said that on stage.
Yeah, all the male porn. But yeah, it's so if they can enjoy it, again, I'll be the bigger man and offer up my goods to the fine workers of Finnair and American Airlines.
You're here to serve the airlines, I guess.
Exactly. I'm waiting for my check.
You just released your new album, Steel, Rust, and Disgust. Can you talk about it a bit?
Yeah, it's kind of a very personal thing. It's songs that were from my most of them from my youth, and or songs that are originally by artists from Northeast Ohio, where I was born and raised. That's why it turned out the way I did. So this album, and it's got a couple of originals that are kind of dedicated to the city as well. So in that sense, the people who I know have heard it aren't familiar with a lot of the tunes, so they think it's basically a new Midnight album, which I'm going to go with. I'm just going to say it's a new album, because cover albums can sometimes be lame, but this one I thought had at least a concept to it. It wasn't just like, yeah, I'm going to cover this cool Creator song, and I'm going to cover this 80s Eurythmics song to make it metal. But I think and they're all kind of, like I said, close to my blackened heart, all the songs, as far as where they come from.
So it's a cover album, and I guess in the press release you told that it was originally thought to be called Throw Ups, since David Bowie had this cover album called Pinups.
Yeah.
What happened? Why did you change the name?
His crew is gonna sue me. I mean the guys, hanging out dead in the ground, having a good time, hanging out with the devil and stuff. But his lawyers were gonna sue me. They said, you can't deface the David Bowie legacy like that and have it say Throw Ups, because it was gonna be me throwing up on David Bowie's corpse and the cover, and they said that's just kind of poor taste.
That's too much punk.
Yeah. So But so that's why I went against it. I took the financial, logical route and didn't want to get sued by David Bowie's people.
There was the single called Cleveland Metal, and I'm curious, is there something like essential Cleveland in your music? What is Cleveland metal?
It's dirty, smelly air, nasty. I mean, you can smell me now. Like I say, it's nasty.
This is the smell of Cleveland.
Yeah, it is. It's just like rotten shit, you know. And that's what it is. You know, it's you can't like grow up in a nice part of I don't know. What are nice parts of the world? Finland. No, no, Finland can make terrible music too.
Yeah.
Just as terrible as Cleveland. But it's it's just an attitude Cleveland has and has always had within everything about it. You know, it's like the blue collar thing, the Rust Belt area, the not getting too hung up on stuff. You know, like the thing that I kind of often say, it's okay to like there was no. You didn't have to be all metal and are all, you know, you can like Ted Nugent and you can still like the Pagans. You can, you know, there's no set rules. And that's why we got into rock and roll and heavy metal to begin with, because you don't want to play by the man's rules, right? So I think Cleveland is the epitome of not playing by the rules type of town.
The only touch I have to Cleveland is through Spinal Tap movie.
Of course, yeah.
I guess, you know,
Yeah.
they're in the backstage and they get lost and then they say, "Hello, Cleveland," and they never get on stage.
Yeah.
So does that come into your music at all?
It kind of does, I guess, you know, because Cleveland's a cursed town, so that was the perfect scene for them to just be like, we're lost. And so when you're born in Cleveland, you're born lost, you know. So it was very fitting. And, of course, like 50% of the bands that come through Cleveland do say that, you know, and they have to. And I get it, you know, like just like when you play San Diego, you have to say, go fuck yourself, San Diego. So it's okay. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take that.
Any last words for people who are thinking about buying your new album?
Don't think about it. It hurts too much to think. Don't even just go out and buy it. Spend that money. I know you guys are making way more money than me, so go out, spend some of them hard-earned bucks, those euros, those whatever, and buy the. As it was, I think it was Eazy-E who said, "Buy the fucking album, bitch." So
you have to buy a new set of clothes, so everybody has to buy your album.
I gotta get some new clothes. Exact. Come on. I'm clothesless here. Yeah, so please do this old man a favor and buy me some clothes.
Thank you so much for the interview.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot.